Hello friends, this will be my recap of the first season of Toy Boy. But before we begin, let me apologize for my pronunciation throughout the video. Perdóname. I'm just playing. I'm sorry though. Alright, let's go. The story starts off with Hugo, who's a stripper, along with his three friends, Jairo, who's mute, Herman, who's really only there because he loves stripping, and Ivan, who actually owns the strip club called Inferno. One day, Hugo falls for this woman by the name of Macarena. And she was married to this guy by the name of Felipe, and together the two had a son by the name of Andrea. Macarena also had two brothers, Borja and Mateo, but the only one you really need to remember is Mateo. And let me tell you why. We found out that both Borja and Mateo are pedophiles, but for now all we need to focus on is Mateo, because Borja ends up in prison. And the reason why Mateo is the one you need to remember is because he took advantage of his own nephew.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, so here's what happened. Mateo, who was angry at Macarena for treating him like garbage, decided to take advantage of his own nephew Andrea in order to punish Macarena. And after doing the deed, a guy by the name of Alvaro Rojas walks in. But Mateo quickly puts him on a shirt. And that's when Felipe finds out, but he doesn't know that his son has been raped by Mateo. Instead, all he knows is that Alvaro Rojas is dead, which is very dangerous because Alvaro's grandmother by the name of Benigna is a massive shareholder and is on the board of the company both Macarena and Felipe run. And in order to avoid a big scandal, Felipe, who just now found out that his wife is cheating on him with a stripper by the name of Hugo, comes up with the perfect plan. And the plan was actually pretty good. You see, they cut off the head of Alvaro's body and then proceed to drug Hugo so he wouldn't remember anything. They then put Alvaro's body on Hugo's boat and burned it. That way the police wouldn't be able to identify the body and assume that Hugo was jealous and killed Felipe, while the Rojas will assume that Alvaro ran away from home. But instead the truth is Alvaro is dead and Felipe ran away from home. Does that make sense? Good, because there's a 7-year time jump. During those 7 years, the Rojas believed exactly what Felipe wanted them to believe, and Hugo has been in prison for a crime he didn't commit. That being said, here's where the story gets even more complicated. You see, there's this port project that's been dividing Macarena's company, and in order to shake things up, Benigna pays a law firm a lot of money so they can reopen the case of Felipe's death in order to cause some trouble for Macarena. And Benigna is doing this because she wants to take over Macarena's company. When the case is reopened, a lawyer by the name of Triana is set to defend Hugo. She's so good at her job that she gets Hugo parole. And while trying to clear his name, the two fall in love with each other. Together, both Triana and Hugo find out that Felipe is alive. Before they can question Felipe and clear Hugo's name, he is then murdered by Mateo. Macarena finds out that Andrea was taken advantage of but doesn't know who did it. Speaking of Andrea, him and Jairo get really close. So close that Andrea records a confession saying who took advantage of him and identifying who killed Alvaro Rojas. He then gives the tape to Jairo, but before Jairo and the boys can watch it, a crooked cop by the name of Zapata, who practically works for Macarena's family, takes the tape away from Hugo and the boys and sells it to Benigna. He also gives a copy to Mateo for about 2 million euros. Mateo then takes that as an opportunity to remove his name from the confession, but instead he records a fake confession having Andrea say Hugo's name. He then tries to kill Andrea and frame Hugo for it, but instead Zapata kills him before he can reveal who was helping him. While all that is happening, we also find out that Ivan slept with Macarena in order to get Inferno. But that's not the only person he slept with, because he also slept with his brother's wife, Claudia. Yeah, he's not the best guy. On top of which, the boys now have to deal with gang members that want to deal drugs out of their club. Anyways, after the death of Mateo, Hugo is free and is dating Triana. But their happy days swiftly come to an end when the club is bombed, leaving Triana heavily injured or dead. And yeah, if you have a question, don't be afraid to leave a comment. That's it. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you liked that video and want to see more like it, leave a like and subscribe. Adios!